Men want to feel like they're respected and needed. And again, because women are hypergamous and, you want to look up and across to a guy. So you have to be able to look up at him. Like you want to be with a giant, right? So how hard is it for a successful race car driver that hosts TV shows, has her own podcast, done well in life, to find a guy like that? And a lot of these guys, by the way, they're not necessarily looking for that, right? They're usually looking for younger women. Like they don't really care about a woman's accomplishments. There's no guy that's ever said, again, look at the degree on her wall. Look at
Mhm.
that. That's hot.
No, no, no,
Doesn't
no. But the
happen.
problem is that it's triggering. Like, because it's not that I can't respect him, even if he makes less or is less successful or whatever those things are. It's that he doesn't respect himself in my company.
Well, that's a big turnoff for women, right?
I mean, I think in general for men, that is the problem. I don't think I'm not right. Is that not, am
Where do
I
you live on
off
the
in
West
that?
Coast?
Huh?
Where do you live in the West Coast?
Scottsdale.
Oh, Arizona. Okay. So, I mean, that's not, I mean, that's not California,
No,
right? Like, there's,
it's becoming California because they're all coming here, but
right, right, right. Okay. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, you're going to have more like sort of stronger guys in a state like Arizona than you will in a place like California. But I get it. Like, it's definitely hard for women. Like, I know a lot of women like you, right? That are up there. They've done something with their life. They don't need a guy, right? Like their life is set. Everything is good. It's like, if he comes in my life and he looks good with me when we go out, sort of thing, we have a good time, and that's awesome. But there's a lot of women in your position where they end up settling, and they end up settling for like the best that they can get, sort of thing. And even though, you know, uh, it happens and it goes that route, they're generally not happy, is what I find, right? And then they, I mean, if they don't need the guy, then they'll just let him go, right? Because they're better alone than they are with somebody that's an anchor in their life. We have anchors in sales in life, obviously, and when our sales fill with wind, they take you to the next port of call, and you have a great time, sort of thing. And there's anchors that hold you back. And I think women are fastidious when it comes to their level of tolerance for guys they can't look up to, that they don't see as a giant, that they don't want to, that they won't respect, sort of thing. So
yeah.
it's going to be difficult for somebody like you in your position to find somebody that's of that caliber and higher, that will just say, hey, babe, we'll see you later on after you host that show tonight.
Yeah. Or is not that caliber, but can respect it and not be triggered or not feel insecure. So, okay, I've taken a lot of your time. What advice would you have? You can give it for men or men and women or separately. What advice would you have that would help the person be led into the right relationship?
Well, it's different advice again for men and women.
That's fine. Then go ahead and separate them out then.
Um, for women, well, I'm going to describe the kind of woman that I want. I've already kind of done this, throughout our conversation. But for me, as a leader, a guy that is competent, successful, all those things, again, I want a woman that's a complement to my life, right? Like I want her to add value. I don't want to come, and deal with a disagreeable, woman that's going to create havoc or potential difficulty in my life, invite chaos, invite, unnecessary nuances, sort of thing. I don't want to deal with the unhappy or the unlucky. You know what I mean? So, for a woman, like she needs to be that gal. That's the sort of gal that I would look for. But that's not what most women are today, and that's not what most women are hearing as far as influences. Like the biggest influences out there, like who are they? Lizzo, you're beautiful at any size. Oh, please. Kim Kardashian, like she's a huge icon out there. I mean, feel bad for Kanye, but Kanye, he hasn't got his head screwed on right either. You got guys like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Oh my God, the slap. Like, dude, you let your wife sleep with your son's best friend, and then you aired it on TV in front of the world, right? So these sorts of things when I was a kid were unheard of, but this is normalized in society today. So you got to get away from all of that nonsense, from all of that garbage. And, if you're a woman, you want to identify the kind of guy that you want and then be the woman that he wants to be with. And I'm telling you right now, as a guy that's at that level, and I have a lot of, friends in my network that are very successful entrepreneurs or 8, 9 figure guys. We do fun and cool stuff together. Many of them are in long-term relationships. And to be honest with you, they're really not that interested in other women, right? Like they're fine. Other women pose extra problems for them, unnecessary problems, sort of thing. So a lot of these guys are already taken too, so that's the problem as well. So rather than spending your 20s partying, getting 17 degrees, on the wall, I think that your best use of your youth, which is when you're most valuable to men, is to develop yourself into that woman that guy that you want to be with is. If that's the guy that you want to be with happens to be, you know what I mean? If you want to get degrees and climb the corporate ladder and do all that stuff, that's fine. But don't be surprised, if you're 41 with 3 cats and you want to have a family and no guy is interested in you, or you can't conceive because it's too late, sort of thing, right? Like there's like
I'm almost 41 with 2 dogs.
Well, men and women are on different time scales, right? There's medical miracles today that would still allow you to have a family, obviously.
I
right?
did freeze my eggs when I was 33.
Okay. So, I mean, like you could still have children, obviously, right?
Yep.
But I mean, if your goal right now is is your goal a family? Like, what is your goal today? Boyfriend, family?
No, I don't.
Doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter. Adventure.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, you want to get clear on your goals. If
exactly.
you want to achieve them. So if your goal is to have a family, to have children, then you should be explicit about only doing things that lead towards that. If your goal is adventure, then why did you bother freeze your eggs?
Security, safety blanket, safety net.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just insurance.
Yeah. So I think you need to get clear on what your agenda and what your goals are and really stick to that. And again, understand evolutionary psychology and what men and women are evolved to do and be in relationships, and how relationships do work, and what women respond to, what men respond to. And if you want to get a good response, you have to feed that, sort of thing.
All right. If men could do one thing to make themselves into the man that is consistent and attracts the right kind of partner, girlfriend, wife, whatever that is, what would it be? What would you recommend to them?
It's nothing else other than chase excellence in your life. Make something out of yourself. There's too many guys today. I think that are too, it's probably the first time in the podcast that I said it, actually. There's too many guys today.
Kind of. As a female, I don't know.
No, but you haven't said I feel that much. I've been listening to you. You started with I think, but there's a lot of guys today, I think, that are too compliant because they've been told just be yourself. And just be yourself is the worst advice I think guys can take. Just be average. No woman wants just average. Even the gal that's pregnant with the 2 kids from the 2 different dads, who's 26, that just got right with God after partying through her 20s. Even she doesn't want average.
No. But yourself is not average. That's not the same thing.
Right.
Be yourself, is own who you are. And that will make that everyone is unique and different. And if you can just own who you are, then you can be great.
Right. But the interpretation that most men have today when it comes to just be yourself is just be a nice guy. If you like playing video games, that's good enough. If you like being 300 pounds at 5'7", that's good enough because you're just being yourself. Right. And this is what guys have been hearing. And that's not what women are attracted to. That's not what women want to have families with. Exactly.
They haven't done the work. So do the work.
Yeah.
All right, Rich. Thank you so much. That was very interesting. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your perspective, and I'm going to keep watching.
You got it. Thanks for having me, Danica. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.